Yes, it's ready.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the work session number 3 for April 27, 2020 to order. City Manager?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. All right, thank you, sir. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, and all people that are listening to us out there in Bowie television land. The purpose of this work session is to review the Community Services Department's budget. And we'll start on page 91 of the proposed budget that lists community services there and take it from there. I'll start by reading the description for the community services. The Department of Community Services scope of responsibility encompasses a wide range of programs and facilities, including recreation and parks, historic properties, building maintenance, Kent Hill Center, parks and grounds, code enforcement, animal control, senior services, special events, the Youth Services Bureau, the ice arena, the Bowie Playhouse, and the gymnasium. As we proceed through this page, we look at our objectives for 2020. A was completed, which was transfer to the community services outreach responsibility for community services social-based programs such as Bowie Pantry, Emergency Relief, and Youth Leadership Bowie programs. B, collaborating with the police department to develop staff safety initiative for code compliance and animal control and park rangers. We've already talked about this one once, but that was accomplished also. C there, which is to validate the HIPPO CMMS, which is the maintenance management system that we use here in the city, and populate the data fields necessary for the appreciation reporting function. That was completed also. And D, the collaboration with the emergency management to host the EOC Incident Command Interface Training course, that was completed. And E there, in support of the City of Bowie Sustainability Plan, CT 1.2 and CT 3.1, collaborate with the Arts Committee to return the Youth Art Gallery to the Kent Hill Center by June of next year. The Arts Committee met and concluded that that Kent Hill was not the place to put that particular youth art gallery, and so we're continuing to collaborate with them on a better location for it. F there is develop a scope and budget for the press box and bleacher improvements at White Marsh and Church Road Parks. That objective was completed also. If you go to page 92, in support of the City of Bowie Sustainability Plan, FW 2.1 and ED 2.1, collaborate with Outreach Committee to conduct quarterly nutrition wellness programming initiatives for youth, families, and seniors at various city facilities. 2 programs were held, and the 3rd program was canceled due to the COVID pandemic. If you look at our workload and performance indicators, there's no significant changes to them. Our objectives for 2021 will be to collaborate with the department of the IT department to onboard community service management team with Microsoft 365 Teams. Obviously, the COVID pandemic has sped us up to the point where we are very proficient with Teams and Zoom and every other means of virtual communications. 2 there, to recruit and contract with the architectural design firm to design and engineering of the construction of the new indoor court facility by January 2021. Collaborate with the Arts Committee to commission landscape architect and design and replace the existing Bowie landscape area at Route 197 at Kent Hill by June 30, 2021. That's the one that's we're having the problems with the diseased soil. Number 4 there, which was to install the first 2 of 7 planned public use EV charging stations at city-owned facilities, has been moved to FY 2022. And we did that during our CIP discussions. And the next point here would be the significant budget changes. There are some moving around of people in reorganization that generally have no additional FTEs. Transfer the administrative associate 3 FTEs from animal control, recreation, parks, and housing and code divisions to the community services administration, which equals a moving of people and salaries to the point of $184,218. Reclassify 1 executive office assistant, 13 to contract specialist 113, from 111 to 113, sorry, and reclass 1 administrative associate 109 to administrative supervisor 111, and transfer in a program supplement for the arts grants from recreation to $295,000. As you can see here, those transfers and all but one will balance out. We're going to, later on regarding the senior center, we're going to move, add 3 people to this and take them away from other divisions. Salaries and wages are the biggest expense at $647,000. Fringe benefits at $221,000 are the second largest expenditure. Materials and supplies to the tune of $44,000 for various things, including office supplies, money equipment, incidental to our operations, and expenditures for the education and outreach committees. Going on to page 94, under program supplement, which is another large expenditure, we have $80,000 that goes to the Performing Arts Center, 15 to the Arts Committee grants, $125,000 to the Communication Outreach grants, $15,000 to the Education Committee grants, $37,000 goes to the Bowie Food Pantry, $3,000 to the Youth Leaders Program, and $8,000 to the Emergency Aid Fund. That's also administered in conjunction with the Bowie Pantry. Any questions regarding the administrative division of community services? Okay.
Yes, I have a quick question. I see that we had, in other charges, we went up significantly. Does that reflect a movement of responsibilities, or is that an increase in costs?
It's a
That's the only thing.
It's,
Yeah, everything is just moving. You know, we have no new people that we're hiring. The programs that they're doing are just moving with them from other budgets.
Okay, because I see we were at 91,000 for other charges last year and 192 this year.
Well, the big change there is the BCPA comes into that funding source, but it's coming off the Recreation and Parks page.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, then, the next, go ahead.
I think, if I heard correctly, I think you mentioned that 15K goes to the Arts Committee. Is that correct?
Yes, Arts Committee grants program.
Okay. Is there a reason why that number is at 15K and it's not lower or higher?
Sally.
Well, each year, the committees can request a certain amount of funding. They have steadily gone up over the years. The number of grant applications that they get, we don't get hundreds of applications. They are not unhappy with the funding levels that they have.
To my understanding, if I understand correctly from based off of what I've heard and what I've seen, can we table that? I'll come back to it. Thanks, Sally.
Sure.
Okay, then. The next division on page 95 is the Building Maintenance Division of Community Services Department. This activity provides centralized building maintenance at all city-operated buildings, which include HVAC, plumbing, electrical, generator, custodial maintenance, and repairs for all city buildings. The objectives for 2020, 1A there was to collaborate with Public Works to develop a centralized generator maintenance program for all of its assets, was completed. Complete the HVAC assessment of the gym, and in November 2019, that was completed. Complete the City Hall HVAC project recommended by the engineering study by May 31, 2020. Phase 1, which is the reheat component phase, is completed. Phase 2, the controls, is estimated to be completed by the end of the year. And Phase 3 is a little delayed, and it's going to be completed in 2020, FY 2021. D, migrate City Hall and Senior Center HVAC building controls to the web supervisor by June 30, 2020. This has been delayed because of COVID, but we're still working toward this as best as we can under the circumstances. Regarding the Ken Hill Center, they collaborate with the Public Buildings Division for the replacement of facilities generators by 31 October 2019. This object was completed. Conduct an interior lighting assessment by November 30, 2019. That was completed also. Replace carpeting in the Youth Services Bureau suite by December 2019. That was completed. Evaluate lease and room reservation rates for possible adjustments in the FY 2021 budget. Given the current vacancy rate and the rate of lease space, there were no recommended adjustments in the rental rates, and therefore this objective was completed. Collaborate with the Public Works Department to resurface the front parking lot and driveway and restripe, paint curb and parking spaces by June 30th. This was also completed. Moving to page 96, we look at our workload and performance indicators. There are no significant changes there. The objective for 2021, to implement the centralized building maintenance program by August 30th, 2020. Complete City Hall HVAC Phase 3 that we mentioned earlier. RTU means rooftop unit. Rooftop unit modification, one modification and enhanced zone controls by November 30, 2020. And because of changes in the CIP, 3, 4, and 5 have been deleted as objectives for 2021. The significant changes here, there are more adjustments to the organization. Transfer of 0.4 FTE of part-time building maintenance worker from gymnasium and 0.3 FTE of a part-time building maintenance worker from recreation and parks to the building maintenance division, a tune of $30,922. Convert a 0.7 FTE of part-time building maintenance worker to a full-time building maintenance worker and add a 0.3 FTE to make the position full-time at additional $14,105. Secondly, they want to transfer a 2.0 FTEs from the senior building maintenance worker from senior center and 1 FTE full-time employee of maintenance mechanic from Ken Hill to the building maintenance division in support of the centralized maintenance department at 187,906. Transfer 0.7 FTE from facility monitor from the building maintenance, 26,575, and 0.7 FTE of the facility monitor from Ken Hill Center at 28,942 to the recreation and parks. As you can see here, that the FTEs will go from 10.4 to 12 people. The predominance here in salaries and benefits for our people, 207 for fringe benefits. And naturally, since this is a maintenance operation, we have a large expense of $349,000, $300,000 for repair and maintenance, including contractual service of electrical, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and repair services, which are beyond the capabilities of our staff. And of course, the other significant expenditure is $73,000 for repair and maintenance lumber, nailed hardware, and other materials for to maintain the buildings. Any questions regarding the Building Maintenance Division of Community Services?
Yes, I have a quick question. It's more one of personal curiosity than anything else. When we repaved the front of the Kent Hill Center, the front parking lot, there was a speed hump put in. Was that truly a speed hump, or is that a to support the drainage for stormwater?
So it's my understanding that it was part of the stormwater management changes that were done there. But it does work as a speed hump, too.
Well, you know, I have a lot of constituents who would rather have had that speed bump somewhere else.
Yeah, you can never win with a speed bump. Those things, some people love them, a lot of people hate them. But, so.
Hey, I've got a question. I'd like to actually go back. I've clarified the question I want to ask on community services, so I think this question is for Sally, or it might be for you, Al. So under the Arts Committee, can you clarify if the Old Town Bowie Arts and Entertainment Steering Committee falls under that?
Go ahead.
No, that doesn't fall there. No.
Can you tell me where that actually falls?
So we have some money put into the Recreation and Parks budget for that.
That was a recommendation from them.
The $30,000 that they have asked for does not appear in the budget. That came in as a later request.
Okay, so what would that go on? Like what, that's under Recreation and Parks, I just want to clarify.
Most likely, that would be on the events management component of the department, if it were added.
It would be under where, so I can.
Events management. The same component, Recreation and Parks, the folks who manage the Bowie Fest, the Memorial Day Parade, and Matt Corley and his component in Parks and Recreation.
Okay, and Sally, have you gotten an opportunity to talk, well, no, sorry, that wouldn't be Sally. Al, do you know if somebody has gotten an opportunity to speak with them to understand what the $30,000 would be allocated for?
Well, I haven't had a chance to talk to them about the money itself. We did have a meeting with them 5 months ago, to talk about all the things that they thought they needed and what assistance they needed from the city. At that time, they primarily wanted technical support and from our event managers and other technical like support and support for potential support from the police and public works in case the event occurred. Afterwards, they determined that they needed financial support, but that was after the budget was the budget process was done. So that $30,000 would have to be considered additionally. And they submitted a request for it.
Is there somebody that can, I guess, have a deeper conversation with them to understand what they need the $30,000 for, so that we can consider that?
We can contact them and ask them to give you a call, ma'am. Surely we can do that.
I'll facilitate it on my own. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, City Manager, a quick question, just for clarification. On page 95, D, did you say that both the senior center and City Hall were gonna migrate to the web supervisor in 2020, or did you say that the senior center, and it says here it had been completed, is that correct?
Are you on 95D?
95.
Which?
D, yes, correct.
Right. The second component, City Hall migration has been delayed due to COVID. The first portion, the senior center, has been migrated, and that's been completed. And they're still working on the latter, and it got slowed down because of the COVID thing.
Understood. All right, thanks.
Okay, so the next would be housing inspections and code compliance. The rental housing inspection program general code compliance activities related to the residential housing and commercial properties and licensing and building permit functions of the city are managed in this particular division. The objectives for 2020 were to collaborate with the police department to develop a staff initiative for code compliance and animal control and park ranger safety, and a radio dispatch program that was initiated in November 2019 with the police department. Staff received training, and department community services enforcement staff are now having greater access to police resources, and they have radios, correct, Sally? They have radios, right? Yes. Right, and they have radios that are synchronized with our with the non-emergency component of, yes. So just in case they get in any trouble or run into difficult residents. So the second one there is code compliance software and training staff by 31 May 2020. That's an issue that's that we're potential litigation. So and we're looking for another vendor because the initial vendor has not met the standard. That was, we all know about that through other means. C, the increase of community education and outreach by participating in 6 community-based events. The code compliance attended 4 HOA meetings for community throughout Bowie. In addition, code compliance has provided outreach at Farmers Market Community Day in July 19, National Night Out in August of 2019, and Citizen Police Academy in November 2019. The Code Department attends, planned to attend the Bowie Fest, which is unfortunately been canceled, and it was therefore completed, we expected to be completed in June, minus that last event, the Bowie Fest. The review the city's code in consultation with the city attorney to identify a potential enhancement that will that would result in more stringent housing and code regulations. Sally, why don't you go ahead and explain what the status is on that particular objective?
All right, so I'm just looking for my document on that. Nick, can you throw me a second copy of it? Yeah, appreciate that. So there's a number of issues that we work on each year. So this year, some of the ones that were brought to our attention were the short-term rentals, that the Airbnb type of places that were a concern. So that one is we've worked that one out with the city attorney. That's going to be added to our rental housing licensing agreements. So all those will have to be registered with us. We were looking at trash issues. One of the big ones has always been animals, birds getting into the trash and pulling trash around. So we're working on trying to get that one resolved. We've got, we went through our, overgrown bushes that are blocking windows. We're trying to get some additional maintenance in the cutting back of bushes in front of houses. Talking about folks not raking leaves. We're going through, again, most of these we're going to be working with the city attorney on. Some of them came through your listening sessions. Complaints about toys being kept in front yards and on front porches, holiday lights being left on all year long, items like the disposable gloves that we're all wearing now, unfortunately, being found in streets, carnivals and special events. We're trying to get all of those registered through the city. So that's a number of different ones that we're working on with the city attorney to make adjustments in the city code. We're also interested in any one of you letting us know if there's any specific ones that you'd like us to take up as an issue. We're happy to try to resolve those for you.
Thank you, Sally. So,
Do you want to comment now or later?
go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay. Sally, on that front, one of the items that is an issue is Bowie blades that are out for folks that are complaining about seeing these things all over the place. I think we need to do some work on that. It may start with a conversation with them to begin with. But then it may have to get into something a bit more meaningful in terms of code. I don't know. So if you could put that on that docket as well, that would be appreciated.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay then. So objectives for, pardon me, we're looking at our workforce indicators. We are really close to FY20 with 21s. We go to our objective for 2021, reduce the rental inspection interval for single-family dwellings from 14 months to 12 months to coincide with the license renewals by January the 1st of 2021. Collaborate with the Communications Office to develop 4 outreach educational short videos to be published on social media by May 31, 2021. Continue community education and outreach by participating in 6 community-based events and homeowners association meetings by June 30, 2021. And convert housing code compliance fleet from gas to all electric, and our objective is for that is 2025. Significant budget changes include reduce the part-time code compliance officer by 0.8 FTE and increase the full-time compliance by 1 FTE to support the rental property housing program at a cost of $7,073. A $10 increase in the rental license fee is proposed to absorb the cost of this impact. Transfer 1.0 FTE administrative associate position from community services admin at a cost of $67,595. We have a total, leave us with a total of 8.6 code enforcement, code compliance officers. Salary and wages at $603,600. Fringe benefits, $212,300. Contractual services, $45,000, $42,005, excuse me. And grass cutting and maintenance and court ordered maintenance of properties. Those are the larger expenses associated with that. Any other questions or comments about housing inspection and code compliance? If not,
Yes, a quick question. This gets back to that issue on page 98, item D there is in Delta. Sally, how far through the code have you guys gotten? And should this be something that continues on into next year?
So you're going back to page 98, number B?
Yes.
Oh, number D. Oh, I'm sorry, number D. It will, yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing process, Councilman. We do this all the time, year after year, and things rise to the top based on the complaints that we get. We try to solve the complaints that we get. But do note that I think we have like about a 95% rate of people complying when we actually go and ask them and explain to them and educate them about what they need to do. So it's the 5% that we all hear about a lot, but it's a continuing process. So I can't tell you exactly when we'll reach the end of all of them. If there's one in particular, certainly we can, find out which one to move to the head of the list.
All right, let me contemplate that. I just know that this has been an ongoing issue for our constituents and continues to be. I think most people would rather have stronger codes than we currently do. Of course, if you're on the wrong side of it, you may disagree with that. But nonetheless, the majority of the complaints I have is from constituents who have concerns about the proper upkeep and maintenance of properties. And their effect on the overall look and appeal of the community. So let me contemplate that a little bit further, but I do know that that is big and we want to continue. We've seen it in the listening session, everything from litter to overgrown properties.
Mr. Wolford, we're going to take a look at this objective a little harder and endeavor to give you a target date for when we get through with it, when we complete this. And if we have to put some more assets and to it, we will. And in a previous city, we did a recodification in total, and there are people who only do this, and maybe we can get them to help us speed us through the process.
I think that's an excellent idea. Thank you.
All right, so the next division of community services is the senior services. That's on page 101. The senior services is responsible for maintaining a multi-purpose center offering classes, educational programs, trips, groups, clubs, special events, fitness facility, and activities for individuals 55 and older. The transportation is available within the city limits of Bowie to seniors and adults with disabilities. The nationally accredited senior center, which is a significant accomplishment, also provides information and referral for services to seniors, their families, and caregivers. Prince George's County Department of Family Services sponsors a nutrition program that offers congregate and homebound meals Monday through Friday, and we're carrying that on during this COVID situation where we're delivering meals to homebound residents. Our objectives for 2020 were to collaborate with the computer center volunteers and instructors to identify smart monitor technologies for upgrading the classroom by November 30, 2019. The instructors and computer center volunteers were surveyed, and results showed that the current technology systems are meeting their needs. Larger smart TV monitors will replace existing ones as needed, and the new projection system is proposed for the dining room, so this objective was complete. Number B, collaborate with the community outreach coordinator to investigate, implement, if practical, additional transportation opportunities for seniors by December 30, 2019. Due to the vacancy in that position, the deadline was extended to June, and so far this objective is on course to be completed by the end of next month. Oh, excuse me, month after next. Looking at our work. Yes.
Quick question about the community outreach coordinator. Sally, you can chime in here too. Is this person in your direct purview, Sally, or does this person, I'm assuming is in your direct purview, is under community services, right? It's not somebody the city's director.
Well, this person is, well, I think I understand you coming in a little broken, but this employee is supervised by Sally Hine, and is a staff member who helps us with our mission to reach out to all of our communities' involvement. And there was a vacancy. We had a good guy, he got ill, and it took a while to replace him. But Ms. Cunningham, correct?
So the outreach coordinator does work directly in our community services admin section. She works cooperatively with the seniors, for example, right now. She's the one that is guiding our Neighbors Helping Neighbors program that's doing the shopping for seniors. That's Lori Cunningham. She's a new employee. She's a terrific find. She's going to be a great addition to our staff over the years.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Al, I have a quick question.
Yes.
For Sally. Sally, what types of transportation opportunities are you looking at for the seniors specifically?
So the expansion that we were looking at here was Lyft and Uber, trying to educate them to using those types of transportation. We're also eventually looking to have either convert a van or get a van that has a capacity for single wheelchair type transport. Right now we're using our buses for that. We have 8 senior buses. We do half a dozen routes every day, bringing people into the senior center, home from the senior center. While they're there, we take them shopping. We take them, there's a lunch bunch that goes out to lunch. We take, like I said, doctor's appointments. So there's a lot of transportation going on with our seniors. Thus the reason for our assistant transportation position that we've asked for this year, and new software that we've also asked for in this year's budget to be able to bring them into this 21st century. They're still doing it all on paper and pencil and simplified databases.
So the transportation you're proposing, like Uber or Lyft, that would be something that would come from the Bowie Senior Center, and then they could use it from there? Or is it just you're educating them overall on that piece?
So we want to educate them overall on that piece. But the other thing we're looking at is, will it be less expensive in the long run at times, perhaps for us to use that as a way of transporting seniors as well?
Okay, thank you.
All right, so if we look at the workload indicators, and generally the numbers are balanced. However, if you look down to in the middle of this chart here, you'll see that the number of meals delivered, and we expect that number to double as a result for 20, as a result of the COVID-19 and the deliveries that we're making above and beyond what we normally would. Just for as a matter of fact. On page 102, we have the objectives for 2021. One is to implement a succession planning for the senior transportation staff by July of 2020. In support of the new gymnasium senior center campus concept, collaborate with the gymnasium to expand senior classes and welfare programs by December of 2020. Significant budget changes: transfer 2 FTEs, building maintenance workers, senior to building maintenance division, $119,321, additional 1 FTE for full-time transportation assistant, which would be 110. Currently, we have no, if the transportation coordinator is out or for any reason, we just have no managerial backup over there. It's just something we've needed, and I added to the budget. We have a total 14.8 FTEs, and salary and wages paid full-time $796,000, $214,000 for fringe benefits, contractual services of $4,000. Over on the next page, you see our operating supplies, which is a large number, $120,000. That's for supplies unique to senior programs, funds for social events, travel, and cost of gasoline and diesel for our transportation programs. Also, on the materials, supplies, and minor equipment, we're going to order 2 new treadmills for the fitness facility. And repair and maintenance is simple janitorial supplies and nuts and bolts. Any questions regarding the senior center budget? If there aren't any, we'll proceed to page 104, the Youth Services Bureau. The Youth Services Bureau is jointly sponsored by the City of Bowie and the State of Maryland and Prince George's County. The primary goals are to promote positive youth development, prevent juvenile delinquency, reduce family tension and conflict. Staff provides direct services in counseling, family group and individual, information and referral crisis intervention, suicide intervention, substance abuse prevention, community consulting, drug and alcohol-free events, school intervention, teen mentoring programs, and court and school liaison. The objectives for 2020, or A, was to research transportation needs for counseling appointments for the youth served by the Youth and Family Services on November 30, 2019. Counselors were surveyed monthly. Results indicate that 1 of the 3 families in any given month would benefit from transportation assistance. Financial assistance was provided to a limited number of clients who demonstrated a financial need, thus completing this particular objective. B, collaborate with the Recreation Parks Division, provide recreational kite flying program for parents and children in April 30, 2020. This event was scheduled for Saturday, April 25th, and unfortunately had to be canceled. Collaborate with the Education Committee to provide a family reading night by May 31. We had a family literacy night that took place on November 21st, 2019. Therefore, this was completed. Our workload indicators are very similar from last year. Objectives for 2021, host a family math night by May the 30th. That one's in jeopardy already, the way things are going. Provide a community education night for the purpose of informing the public about the effects of anxiety on youth and their family and their communities by June 30, 2021. There are no significant budget changes to this particular operation. We have 11.8 employees there, a $937,700 salary and wages, $327,600 in fringe benefits, and we have some expenses in professional services for consultants on special cases and consulting contracts from the county council and special appropriation grant. Any questions regarding Youth Services Bureau?
Yeah, a couple of questions. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Good. The first question, Sally, feel free to chime in as well. In regards to the community that we're serving, are we talking about folks who are uninsured or are these uninsured folks who are coming to us?
For the transportation, I mean, it's a matter of need. They basically are looking at
The whole services.
the whole of youth services has, some people pay to use youth services, some people have, there's a sliding scale in the budget book that shows what their rates are.
Okay. And I didn't see much about, and correct me if I'm wrong, you know, part of the mission talks about juvenile delinquency, and obviously we're having this conversation nationally about school to prison pipeline. Can we talk a little bit more about, just for my clarification, I'm pretty sure other new members would want to know, what are they doing in that sense for when it comes to kind of that intervention crisis piece?
So I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty. It's not you. I'm sure it's the translation coming through the teams here. But are you asking about crisis services?
Yeah, specifically for this, we're talking about school prison pipeline specifically. What are we really doing around that? And I'm not sure if that falls into the person served in crisis intervention. But could you expand upon that if possible?
So Sally, this is services specifically related to the school to prison pipeline.
So it's probably going to be best. Wendy Wilcox has teamed in with us tonight. She's the director of our Youth Services Bureau, and she's probably going to be the best one to answer that question for you. So Wendy, if you're there.
Hi, Councilman. Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect. Yep.
Okay, so many of our programs exist in order to help prevent young people from entering the school to prison pipeline and to intervene with people that with youth who are already involved in, for instance, juvenile services. And every 2 years, we have, I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback. Every 2 years, Juvenile Services runs the names of all the students or all of the youth that we serve, and 95 to 100% of our youth each year are not re-adjudicated that we serve.
Okay, perfect. That's really good number, by the way. And then my last question is, and Wendy, I think you could chime in here as well. I think it says in the budget only $1,900 for communications. Does that fall into also how you guys are doing outreach? I mean, I think 1,900 is a little small. Is this just only for the telephone and Wi-Fi services?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Al, could you point me to what the full on comms budget is for this piece of the department? If you guys needed to do major outreach mailers or things like that to folks in the community who are at risk, what would that be? Well,
I think I heard you right. You asked me what the total cost. I did some numbers crunching. It's $1,363,000. It's generally what the Youth Services Bureau, its budget is. Most of which, of course, is personnel and fringe benefits.
Sorry, if I wasn't clear, I wasn't talking about the department specifically. I was just talking about specifically the communications piece of the department, right?
Oh, the communications, I see. Under the communications here is regarding the telephone system. I'm not sure I can address their connection with communications and Una. And Sally, are we making any outreach in that respect?
I'm sorry, again, I'm having trouble hearing what you're saying. And the communications piece here is simply for a couple of cell phones and Wi-Fi in the building.
Let me rephrase the question. Wendy, if you were to do communications to the community as a whole, right? Say there's folks who may not be in our purview right now who definitely need to use services and want to be a part of it. Where would that fall? How would you go about the process currently about requesting dollars to do that level of communication with folks throughout the community?
Well, we found the most useful way to reach young people and their families is through our web page and our Facebook page, our Facebook presence. And that's been very useful. For instance, we just posted a video on our Facebook page that in a day had 1,000 visits or 1,000 views. So we have in the past done mailings to certain communities that we were concerned about, but we found the electronic outreach was actually much more effective.
All right. That is all my questions for right now.
Thank you.
I had a couple questions also. How are you, Wendy? Good. Quick question, couple questions. Do you all ever consider partnering with other organizations that are within the county? Because it seems like there's a duplication of effort from youth services to some of the other agencies that I'm aware of that are in the county. I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Wendy? Yeah.
There's actually very little duplication of services. The things that are already there in the county, we either complement or sometimes we work together. For instance, there's the Children's Mental Health Matters Committee that a couple of the health department people are on. We're on that committee as well. So we work collaboratively with them. And the Mobile Crisis Response Unit, of course, is there for crisis services, and we often refer to them when a family is having trouble that is reaching a certain level of danger, for instance. I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to, though.
I guess so. I guess I'm looking at the teen mentoring, court and school liaison. Okay, mostly teen mentoring, school intervention, substance abuse prevention. So you're saying that this is the only, this would be one of the only programs offered in the county?
Well, the kind of mentoring that we offer, for instance, we've had a program that's existed for about 20 years now, and it was actually because we were going into the school to meet with kids who were having substance abuse problems, and teen after teen said to us if there was just one person that cared about how they did in school and how they were as an individual, that their lives would be different. And so as a result of that, we started the teen mentoring program. We go in school, we have 47 kids and 47 mentors that meet with their students every week, and that's actually been able to continue online during this time. And the mentors take lunch to the students so that they don't miss any instruction, and they meet during lunchtime every week, and then we have a limited number of get-togethers over the year, a trip to Dave & Buster's with our staff members, and a luncheon at the end of the year that, unfortunately, we hope it happens this year, but I'm not sure if it will, and we invite you all. So it's a unique program compared to other mentoring programs that currently exist, for instance.
And that's middle school and high school?
Yes.
Okay, so you support the 2 middle schools and Bowie High School?
Right now, we only have the mentoring program at Samuel Ogle Middle School, but we're available to serve Tasker if they were to need that or request it.
Okay. And to Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Boafo's point, we could also, I think it would also serve Instagram and text. And I worked for Bowie Prince, we had program serves youth. There's 2 programs that serve and found that Instagram and seeing the kids really make a difference as well. Because a lot of them don't get on Facebook.
We do have an Instagram account. I have to tell you, I'm not techie in the group, but It's a point, we should use it more.
Okay, one more question. I'm sorry to take up too much time. The professional services, how come that's $19,300 to do consulting contracts for county council special appropriations grant? I used to run that program for District 4, and I just don't understand why we're paying so much to a consultant to do those grants.
Well, that pot of money pays for, oh, you're talking about the grant. So I'm sorry, we have two professional services pieces. One is city and one is grant. And what that money pays for is for our tutoring. So we provide free tutoring for students who are struggling. So that is one portion of that. Another portion of that is contractors that we pay to partner with our staff members on the dispute resolution and managing anger programs at Tasker Middle School, Samuel Ogle Middle School, and Bowie High School's annex. We also have, for a mentoring program, we have a contractor that we hire to assist our teen mentoring program coordinator with tasks and to check in with the students. We have a number of different people that are employed from that chunk of money, and a number of different programs that we run through that. So it's not just one thing.
So the $19,300 pays for those consultants?
Yes.
Okay, and so, but I guess I don't understand if Al or somebody can clarify that line item, because it says consultant contracts for county council special appropriations grant.
Can I say one more thing that might clarify? So we receive a grant from the county every year, and we build those funds into the budget because the county process is a long process, and often we don't receive the funds until the year is half or more over. So this is just backup funding so that we can start spending and delivering our programs, and then the county reimburses this money. So we budget for it, but we don't really spend it, if that makes sense.
Understand, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
I've got a question, because I don't necessarily, I'm going to go to that professional service one, because if that's what it is, it doesn't read that way. Because the way that it reads looks like we're hiring a consultant to work on contracts for the county council grants. That's $19,000. So the way that it reads doesn't read, or it doesn't correlate to the way that you're explaining it. So if that is exactly what it is, then can we edit the verbiage there, because it doesn't correlate?
Yeah, we can adjust. We can change the verbiage, no problem. We can make it read correct.
Thanks, Roxy.
So then, if there are no other questions about Youth Services Bureau, we'll move to the Animal Control Division. The city provides a comprehensive animal control program with 2 full-time animal control officers to ensure public safety and the humane treatment of animals. Mosquito control is provided through the Maryland Department of Agriculture Mosquito Control Office in conjunction with the city's Public Works Department also. So under this, our objectives for 2020 was to collaborate with the police department for staff safety initiatives. We've seen that in 2 other places, and it was effective, and the animal control officer was given a radio that can reach our police department. B, to evaluate the feasibility of implementing a dog park pass requirement by December 31, 2019. Staff has conducted a survey of local dog parks, and staff recommends that dog park remain pass-free. Staff will increase enforcement and education at the facility, and therefore this objective was completed. C is to provide education for city residents by hosting 2 possible pet ownership workshops and participate in 2 career days at Bowie High School by June 30, 2020. The first workshop was held September 2019, and the second one was scheduled for the spring, but it's currently in the delay, and they're still working toward it, but it's been affected by the COVID-19 quarantine. If we could proceed to page 108, the objective for 2021 to provide trap, neuter, return feral cat education class for Bowie residents by November 30, 2020. Collaborate with Prince George's County Health Department and host 2 low-cost vaccine and microchip events at City Hall by May 31, 2020. Collaborate with the Green Team and host 2 dog park events by June 30, 2021. The significant budget change here is to transfer 1 full-time employee administrative associate position to community services admin, and that's $58,311 for the cost of that employee. The salary and wages, excuse me, 2 people, full-time employees in animal control. Salary and wages is $135,500. Fringe benefits $49,000. With the next, the emergency veterinary services under contractual service, professional services, at $27,700 being another specific large expense, mosquito control and refuge for our animals. So are there any other questions or comments or suggestions about the Animal Control Division's budget? If not, we'll proceed to page 110 for the Recreation and Parks budget. The city provides recreational opportunities and park amenities for use by city residents and guests. This division plans, provides logistical support, and staff citywide events and programs designed to enhance the quality of life enjoyed by residents of Bowie. Activities include Memorial Day Parade, Bowie Fest, International Festival, Hall of Honor, holiday programs, the Sunday Sunset Concert Series, the Bowie Farmers Market, Intergenerational Breakfast with Santa, and Beautification Awards program. The objectives of this organization, this division in 2020 was to, staff was to reach out to shops in Anne Arundel County, and they had, and in particular, investigate the feasibility of collaborating with skateboards, shops, local experts to provide beginner skateboard lessons at Allen Pond. So we checked out shops in Anne Arundel County. They weren't interested in providing beginner sessions, and there are no base shops in Bowie. This objective was completed. However, you couldn't say it's completely successful. We'll continue to look to enhance the state skate park activity. Collaborate with the city's education committee to develop a story walk trail program by October 31st, 2019. Staff met with the education committee during their October meeting. Story walk trail has been installed at Black Sox Tot Playground on Monarch, and the trails were scheduled to open in the spring of this year, but that's been delayed due to COVID. C, collaborate with the police department to develop a safety initiative. That was done, and for our park rangers in particular, so they could be able to contact the police in case of emergencies. D was collaborate with Youth and Family Services to provide a recreational kite flying program, and the event was scheduled for April 25th and unfortunately was canceled because of COVID-19. In support of the city's sustainability plan, CT 5.2, include churches, profits, businesses, and other organizations to host a diversity awareness gathering and event. The staff met with the Business Partners and Arts Committee on March 2020, and was scheduled to be held in late spring 2020. That's been delayed for COVID-19 also. The workload and performance indicators, it indicates that residents and group picnics and other numbers for 2021 are going to be down, as projected to be down because of the COVID-19 restrictions. However, that may not be the case. It may also affect our revenues that we get from picnic and fees associated with them. Under the objectives for 2021, we are looking to identify phase 3 of the public safety trails marking program by October 30, 2020. Design one micro park public gathering place and identify locations for by November 30, 2020. The third particular objective has been deleted because Bowie Fest has been canceled. There's a possibility for International Fest, but COVID-19 has affected every aspect of that particular objective. Significant budget changes are transfer 0.3 FTE part-time building maintenance worker to building maintenance division, $11,960. Transfer 0.7 FTE building monitor from building maintenance division, and 0.7 FTE building monitor from Ken Hill Center at $55,517. Transfer 1 full-time FTE administrative associate to community services admin for $58,511. Transfer 0.2 FTE boathouse supervisor to 0.2 FTE part-time park aide at cost of $1,414, and transfer a program supplement from March grants to community services admin for $95,000. Proceeding to page 112, there are 12.6 full-time employees in recreation and parks, which includes our rangers. We have salaries at $759,200, fringe benefits $226,100, contractual services $89,900 for the events such as Bowie Fest, holiday programs, farmers market, and others. Equipment rental would be a significant expense at $27,700. Porta potties and other properties, tables, and utility vehicles to support our events. Material supplies are at $38,500, is significant. Holiday decorations and office supplies associated with that. That sort of concludes my review of parks and recreation and parks. Are there any questions, comments, or suggestions?
Hey, really quick, I want to go back to something because it's going to be a theme in all these little departments. Really quick, as you know, as we all know, community services is one of our most public-facing departments, right? I'm going to go back to the question about communications, right? Because how we communicate effectively, especially in this department more than any other, is going to let us know, or let folks know about the events that we're doing and the amazing events that our staff puts on. So could someone direct me in the budget as to where the communications budget is for this department?
Well, right. Well, all the communications discussion for the entire city and the budget and all aspects of that are placed in the city manager's budget under the communications directors. So, and we will be in a position to discuss the plan, how we do that on Wednesday when we discuss the communications component of the city manager's budget. Also, I would recommend that you take a look at the communications action plan that we wrote in 17. After I got here, there was a significant upheaval the first day my first meeting as a result of the marketplace, and the residents complained mightily that they were uninformed about all things associated with that marketplace situation. As a result of that, we drafted a comprehensive plan, communication plan, briefed the council in the summer of 17, and implemented it, which we are in compliance with. So we centralize our communications. We require the department directors to take certain actions whenever events are coming up, and so that Una and we have, of course, social media expert, we have a production person, and there's no better public affairs person in this region than Una. And once we get that data to them, then we broadcast that to our residents, not with just specifically with all of the events going on here, farmers market, the Bowie Fest, and everything that we do. And there are specific requirements outlined in that plan that each department director, when they have a significant event, they have things that they have to do and data they have to get to Ms. Cooper and her team so that we can put it out in the myriad of ways that we do, hoping that everybody will read something. And
just for quick, it's in the city manager side of the budget, right?
Yes, it's in her division is in my department, and we're be prepared to talk about that on Wednesday in detail.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions about recreation and parks? If not, we'll proceed to the Bowie Playhouse. This facility provides affordable, quality live theater and musical entertainment to the citizens of Bowie and surrounding communities. The Bowie Playhouse is a 153-seat, fully accessible theater that is equipped with a stage, dressing rooms, orchestra pit, technical booth, and a multi-use lobby. The majority of the theater's rental time is allocated to the city's in-resident production companies. Remaining rental and time dates are available to eligible performing arts groups for plays, concerts, and dance recitals. The objective set up for this particular division in 2020 was to install digital advertising sign in the lobby for displaying production information and schedules. A digital reach system was installed in the lobby in June 2019, so therefore that objective was complete. The objective for fiscal year 2021 are to conduct a detailed analysis of existing electrical system to determine if upgrades are needed. Number 2 will be market Bowie Playhouse to attract a third in-resident production company and/or alternate types of qualifying rentals by December 2020. Hopefully, the things will change and we'll be able to continue with this. Significant budget changes are reclassify the theater technical director, who is currently a 111, to certified theater technical director, which will be a 112, but $1,513. Reclassify the theater's technician from 106 to a certified technician, 108. We have a total of 2 employees in this division. You see that on 115. Salaries at $96,600. Fringe benefits of $15,100. And of course, utilities is a large expense there, and materials and administrative supplies at $26,000. Any questions regarding this particular division?
I didn't have a question, but I had a comment on just basically on recreation and park. I just wanted to say sorry, I don't know what I did with it. Oh yeah, the story walk idea is a fabulous idea. That's really great. So whoever came up with that, just kudos to them because it's a great thing. Thanks.
All right.
That would have been Sherry Beach from our Recreation and Parks Division that had that idea.
Yes, please share it with her. It's fabulous. Thank you.
Okay. So moving on to page 116, Parks and Grounds. The responsibilities of this division include the maintenance of ball fields, city parks, bike trails, fences, play areas, play equipment, flower beds throughout the city. This division maintains all trees, shrubs, and lawns on city property and the fencing along Route 197. Objectives for 2020 were to replace 2 sunshades at the Bowie Skate Park by September 2019. That objective was completed. B, to renovate the landscaping planting and Allen Pond marquee sign at Mitchellville Road entrance by October 30th, 2019. That objective was completed. Replace synthetic turf field at Allen Pond by April 30th, 2020. That objective was completed. Looking at the workload and performance indicators, there are no major changes between this year and last year. The objectives for 2020 are to renovate the landscaping planting at Racetrack Road and 450 Marquees by October 31st, 2020. Collaborate with the Arts Committee to replace the landscaping plantings at Route 197 and Ken Hill by April 30, 2021. Convert Glen Allen Soccer Field to Bermuda grass by June 30, 2021. In this particular division, we have 36.6 employees. A budget of most of these employees are essential employees, and they also do a lot of the snow plowing and snow removing on our buildings when that occurs. So we have a $2,054,000 budget for salaries, $684 in fringe benefits. If you go to page 118. There are significant utilities for the White Marsh Park, Allen Pond, Black Sox Park, Jericho Park, Church Road Park, and the park and maintenance facility itself on Mitchellville Road. Repair and maintenance budget of $471 includes fees to feed, prune, embrace, and preserve trees, Bel Air Drive, and hire electricians, and also deal with the ash tree infestation and maintenance of landscaping at Mitchellville Road, Evergreen Park, Route 450, and the fencing along 197. Other significant operating expense include the $157,000 on operating supplies, providing for the necessary materials such as fertilizer, herbicides, grass seed, marking supplies for White Sox Park, Allen Pond Park, and Mitchellville Road Soccer Complex. Any questions regarding the Parks and Grounds Division? If there aren't any, we'll proceed to the ice arena on page 119. The objective of the ice arena division is to provide a recreational program for indoor ice skating for community residents. This program is administered by 4 full-time staff and is augmented by part-time employees. The majority of the available ice time is devoted to public skating, group sessions, ice rental hockey, and figure skating. The arena is open year-round. Let's move to the objectives for 2020. A was to collaborate with the police department to provide employees active threat training at the ice arena. All staff have completed that. I think if you look at when Lee Cornwell and his emergency management team comes up next week, nearly 85% of the city's employees went through the threat training on how to survive an active shooter or some situation like that. And so B there, develop a transition plan for transferring operation to the new ice arena facility. And they would complete that in November 30th, 2019. They're still working on that particular objective, and we're going to move it forward to 2021. Offer 2 mini camps for school-age kids during the winter and spring time frame. So that is not completed. One of the 2 has been completed, but the other one was halted by the COVID-19 quarantine. On page 120, the ice arena, objectives for 2021, work with the community to offer special discount days for local Girl Scouts and Boy Scout troops, as well as Bowie and South Bowie Boys and Girls Club. The objective is scheduled to be completed in January 2021. Develop and offer a special STEM-based field trip for local elementary and middle school classes by March 31st, 2021. Collaborate with the police, with Public Works Police and Information IT to ensure a seamless transition to the Iceplex. And that's also an ongoing objective. There are no significant budget changes associated with this division. The workload has no significant changes there either. There are 9.6 employees in this division, $537,000 in salaries, $139,900 in fringe benefits. Professional services account for disc jockey services, skate instructors, referees for Heroes Hockey, and more. $163,000 for utilities, electric, gas, and water supplies, and $98,000 for supplies, like custodial supplies and such. Are there any questions regarding the ice arena budget? If there aren't any questions or comments, the next would be on page 122, historic properties. The City of Bowie maintains 6 museum properties and its support facilities with the purpose of to collect, preserve, and interpret the historical and cultural materials relevant to the development of this region, and namely the histories of the structures of the Bel Air Mansion Museum, the Bel Air Stables, Museum, the Bowie Railroad Station, Huntington Museum, and historic buildings, historic building and loan opened as the Bowie Heritage and Welcome Center. The objectives for 2020 were to work with the project manager and building maintenance superintendent to develop 5-year preventive maintenance plan for historic properties by November 30th, 2019. The meetings were held to develop the plan and expected to be completed in March of this year, and that hopefully is still working, but it was delayed by the quarantine situation and slowed. Collaborate with Communications Division to develop a room-by-room audio tour of the Welcome Center and the Railroad Museum to improve visitors' experience and enhance appreciation for Bowie's history by March 30th. This also was slowed and delayed by the COVID-19. So we're working with the intent to get that done by the end of the year. Work with the Communications Division to design and record an audio-visual tour of the Bel Air Mansion. Visitors unable to move freely throughout the museum could utilize technology to get a more robust experience, and it will schedule for completion in May, and that one also was slowed by COVID-19, but everybody's still working, trying to get it done. Objectives for fiscal year 2021, make archival records available online for researchers by December 31st, 2020, offer 2 summer workshops and 3 holiday break programs for students of various ages by April 30, 2021. Develop an innovative series of education programs for children focusing on the history of railroad and the development of the town of Huntington by May 31st, 2021. Collaborate with special events coordinator to design and host 2 outdoor programs to attract new and non-traditional visitors by June 30, 2021. All of these, of course, a lot of outdoor events for the summer are threatened by the COVID-19, but we're gonna hope for the best. Significant change in the budget is increase the part-time museum aid from 2.3 to 2.4 FTE, which is a $3,869 increase. We have 5.4 employees, $284,200 in salary, $68,006 in severance. And considering these buildings, the age of these buildings, are maintenance and repair budget 136 is appropriate for upkeep and replacement of incidental maintenance. Also, there's a $61,000 appropriation for professional services, furniture repairs, and used to conserve museum items and artifacts. Any questions, comments about the Historic Properties Division?
Real quick, Mr. City Manager, this is Mike Estev.
Yes.
I know that we've talked about this on and off in the past, but I'd really like it if we could make it a budget objective for this coming fiscal year to look at ways of duplicating programs that exist at many of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Mansions. And in particular, to look and see to what extent we can better utilize our historic facilities for larger events like weddings. I know that we have some self-imposed restrictions on guest numbers and venue size and so on, and I know that way back when there was one issue at the mansion that discouraged them from doing future weddings, but I'd really like the team that manages the historic properties to kind of reconsider that and take a look at what ways we could be making these facilities more available so that they can, both serve the community but also recuperate some of their costs.
I understand, sir. We'll take a look at that and get back to you before we finish the process. Any other questions or comments or suggestions about this division? If not, we'll proceed to page 126 and discuss the gymnasium. This facility provides gymnasium space for community residents to participate in athletic programs. The majority of the available evening and weekend court time is allocated to organize adult and youth basketball and volleyball. Day and off-season time is available for activities programmed by the city. Early morning programs are dedicated to senior population and include walking, fitness, and senior volleyball and pickleball. Remaining hours are available by reservation/rental for community groups. Some rentals are available for meetings, classes, parties, and some activities may include sports camps and clinics, as well as open gym time and other rental opportunities. In 2020, one objective was to replace the curtain divider by December 30, 2019. That objective was completed. Collaborate with Public Buildings Division to complete the design and engineering of the HVAC system upgrade and replacement by November 3, 2019. That was also completed. Replace existing exterior message board with electronic message board by May 30, 2020, and that was completed. Conduct a survey to identify existing use for the indoor courts in Bowie by June 30, 2020. That was completed in December of 2019. There are no significant changes between one fiscal year and another in the workload and performance indicators. The objectives for fiscal year 2021, in support of the new gymnasium senior center campus concept, collaborate with the senior center to evaluate the expansion of senior programming into the gymnasium by September 30, 2020. Initiate a pilot program that will expand facilities hours in order to provide more court time for user groups during the high demand season by November 30th, 2020. In number 2 there, they are considering opening early and closing later and to accommodate residents, and we'll see how that's going to work. Significant budget changes would transfer 0.4 FTE part-time building maintenance worker to building maintenance division, a cost of $19,041. There are no significant workload indicators. I mentioned that. The FTE numbers over there are 7.2 full-time, 7.2 employees, 448,800 salary, 111,500 and fringe benefits. Professional services, 42,005, including tournament referees, DJs, and equipment for special city-sponsored events. We have public utilities at 65,600. Big building, gets a lot of use. And of course, the next repair and maintenance for the building, 93,000 to keep the building in good shape. Any questions regarding the gymnasium division of community services?
Just a quick comment, if I may. Mr. City Manager, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Sally in particular for all the great work that you guys have done over the course of the year. You guys are a tremendous part of the city, and we get a constant number of ringing endorsements for your work. And I certainly appreciate the time and effort you and all your team play, and the responsiveness when we do have issues. So thank you again very much for all your efforts.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, this concludes the work that we are scheduled to do this evening regarding the budget review. And so therefore, our next budget meeting, review session, budget work session is scheduled for this 2 days from now, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, where we will review the city manager's budget, police budget, finance, and all and the remaining divisions.
Sounds good. Do any of the other council members have any other questions or anything at this time? If not, I'd like to echo Councilman Dufour and make sure that we say to Sally Hine and to the staff and all of you, thank you so very much for the effort you do to make this city the special place it is.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, did you call for comments and questions before you end the session?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the last thing that I'd actually like to bring up, since we are talking about this budget, if we could Earlier today, I sent a memo to the rest of the city council about, just kind of our COVID relief efforts from the business community. So I'd like to see if we could shortly discuss that, or discuss how we can set aside money within the budget, since we are in budget hearings, to see if we can expedite doing something for our business community, whether that's directing the EDC to put together a plan, seeing if we could ask John Henry to put together a plan to kind of bring back to the council to see if that's something we can move forward on and how we move forward on it.
Okay, and if I recall from your email, you basically were saying put together, have EDC put together a template for how we could do COVID pandemic recovery for the business community. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Okay. How do we move forward with that at this point? Do we need to identify that? Do we simply just have that sent off to the EDC and to John Henry?
Mr. Mayor, we have,
Yes,
maybe I can help out here. We have a scheduled meeting on May the 4th. What we could do is take this document that Councilwoman David Mata wrote out, get a hold of John Henry, have him connect with the EDC, and ask if they can have a presentation available to the council at the May the 4th meeting. Because at that meeting is primarily we're there to adjust the tax rate and the constant yield, but we could discuss this then. And when at that point, since it would be an official meeting, you could take some action regarding the budget, and decide, of course, whether we want to try to do something in this fiscal year or in the next fiscal year, beginning 1 July, and when everybody's going to be in the midst of the recovery.
okay. And Councilwoman, does that sound good to you?
I think that's a wonderful plan, Al. Thank you so much. So we can prepare to have them present to us on May the 4th, so we can hear that out. I think that would be a great next step. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, City Manager. Okay, anyone else? Any other questions or comments before we end it for tonight?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to ask
I'm sorry, just one thing to piggyback on what was just said, Al, and also if you could include the impact of what's happening with COVID on the budget as it is now, as if we can make sure we include that in John Henry's presentation.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
It's very
Will
good,
do.
Councilwoman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Did I hear Councilman Esteta?
that was me, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem, go right ahead.
But yeah, the only thing I would say is just to echo Councilman Dufour-Wolfley's comments, and thank Sally Hine and her team for the work that you guys do. Part of the community service is a process and experience is really unique to the city of Bowie and to people of Prince George's County. So thank you guys for the work you guys do and the experiences you guys are creating for our residents.
Good. Hey, thank you. And if are there any other comments? And if not, my last statement will be, again, thank you, staff, and all of you for the fine job you did in your presentations tonight. And I would like to remind the city council members that we all need to do our video, okay? So please get that in. For the census I'm talking about.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't hear any great enthusiasm.
No, we have to do that. We're up to 75%. We want to go higher.
We want to win it. We want to be the best.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, so again, thank you, everyone. Please stay safe, and we'll convene again on Wednesday. And thank you very much, and have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks for the staff.
Thanks. Good night. Thank you, staff. Bye.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night.